The Illinois House of Representatives launched a rare special investigative committee. They'll decide whether or not to discipline or possibly even expel Speaker Michael Madigan. That panel will examine what role the Speaker may have had in several of his allies getting paid off in the ComEd bribery case. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is in Springfield with the latest.
Governor Pritzker says if the allegations in federal charging documents are true, then Speaker Madigan should resign. The Speaker says they're not and insists he never broke the law. Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan is public official A at the center of a sprawling federal corruption investigation. Now he'll get to plead his case before a panel of his peers and before prosecutors bring any charges against him.
I'm going to, give Speaker Madigan proper due process. He deserves due process just like any other House member.
In a 9-page petition, House Republican leader Jim Durkin called for a panel to investigate the Speaker's role in the ComEd case and demanded he recuse himself from that process. Representative Tom Demmer is one of 3 House Republicans on that panel.
They did this for that. There are quid pro quos that are established by ComEd. So I think there are some very specific things that we have to investigate.
In a statement, Madigan downplayed Durkin's complaint as an election year political stunt to distract voters from President Trump.
I hope that there is not, this is not a political stunt. I hope instead that they're going to be seeking real answers.
House Majority Leader Greg Harris appointed Representative Chris Welch to chair the Special Investigative Committee.
I'm certainly going to take this seriously.
So far, 7 House Democrats have called on Madigan to resign immediately. Several others, including Governor Pritzker, say he should resign if the charges are true.
There are questions that need to be answered by the Speaker, and perhaps the creation of this legislative committee will actually get some of those answers.
Madigan defended himself, saying the law does not prohibit members of the General Assembly from making job recommendations. And he pointed out the bills that benefited ComEd passed with broad support on both sides of the aisle.
I do think the Republicans have to consider that that was a bipartisan effort signed by a Republican governor. And so all of that's going to be taken into consideration during this process. And I don't know how you can ignore it.
House rules will allow Speaker Madigan to use a lawyer to help build his defense. The first hearings are not yet on the calendar, but they will be public. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
The investigative committee is only the first step to removing a member of the House. A second panel of new members would have to review those findings and then recommend any disciplinary action.